Hello and welcome. Let's take a look at our top story. The last rites of late UAE President Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan will take place later today. Global leaders from across the world are now descending on the UAE to participate in the ceremony and to pay tribute to the late president. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has flown in from London to pay his condolences, while from India, Vice President Naidu will attend the last rites ceremony to extend India's condolences. US Vice President Kamala Harris is scheduled to lead the delegation to pay respects on behalf of the Biden administration. Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif is expected to be present at the cremation of President Khalifa. Several other top leaders, including French President Emmanuel Macron, have landed in the UAE to offer condolence. Sheikh Khalifa took over as the UAE's second president in November of 2004. He succeeded his father as the 16th ruler of Abu Dhabi, the richest of the Federation's 7 Emirates. He made rare public appearances since 2014 after his surgery following a stroke. His successor and half-brother Mohammed bin Zayed conducted the funeral. Sheikh Zayed tweeted that the people of the Emirates are united in grief as they mourn the loss of their leader and president. Meanwhile, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan has been elected as the new president of the United Arab Emirates. This has solidified his rule over the OPEC oil producer and a key regional player that is the UAE. A federal Supreme Council elected Al Nahyan to be the next leader. The council constitutes of rulers of the 7 Emirates of the UAE Federation. Al Nahyan becomes president at a time when the UAE's long-standing ties with the United States have been strained. The UAE is a trade and tourism hub. It has deepened its ties with Russia and China. The Biden administration has tried to mend ties with Saudi Arabia and the UAE. Both have refused to take sides in the Russia-Ukraine conflict. WION's executive editor Palki Sharma Upadhyay has sent us this report from Dubai. Take a look.
The United Arab Emirates is mourning the death of its president, Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan. World leaders have come down to the UAE to pay a tribute to the late president. France's Emmanuel Macron flew in earlier this morning. So did British Prime Minister Boris Johnson. India's Vice President Naidu has also reached the UAE, as has Tunisian President Kais Saied, Egypt's Al-Sisi, and the Maldives' Ibrahim Soli. These high-profile visits can only be described as a display of the close relationship that this nation shares with the world. President Sheikh Khalifa was credited for building and maintaining these relationships. He was only the second president of the UAE. He took charge in 2004. He transformed his country in the years that followed. He brought the Gulf nation closer to the West, not just politically, but also culturally. He is credited for overseeing major cultural projects like the Louvre in Abu Dhabi and bringing in major educational institutions like the New York University here. Dubai's landmark tower, the world's tallest Burj Khalifa, is also named after him. This nation remembers the president as a modernizer. With his demise, the baton of carrying the legacy forward has passed on to his brother, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed. The former Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi has now been elected as the ruler and the president of the UAE. The media here call him MBZ, and this is how they welcomed him. This is what the papers are calling him, a worthy successor. There are full-page ads welcoming him. This is the front page of the Khalij Times, one of the biggest newspapers in the UAE. And this front page carries a message from the new ruler of this country. And this is what he says: "You are the real wealth, not the 3 million barrels of oil. You are the future of this nation's security and safety net. We are in a good condition now, but we want to establish the vision for 50 years ahead. In 50 years, when we might have the last barrel of oil, the question is, when it is shipped abroad, will we be sad? I can tell you, we will celebrate at that moment." So from the word go, the new ruler of this country has set a reformist agenda and looking to diversify the economy of the Emirates beyond their oil wealth.
WION, now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.